Welcome back to my channel. My name is Naomi Rook. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to ring that notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today, what I'm going to do is a continuation of my top 5 products in specific categories. I did do this already with my bronzers, blushes, and highlighters. And now I want to do my foundations, concealers, and powders. I have gotten hugely into complexion products as of recently. I've really enjoyed matching different concealers with different foundations, different powders. I'm absolutely just loving it. So I wanted to come on here and tell you guys my top favorite foundations, concealers, and powders as of right now. These are always changing. I'm always trying new ones. I'm always getting kind of different moods with my makeup. So as of right now, these are my absolute most favorite. I'm going to go ahead and start with foundations. I'm going to go in order of coverage from the lightest to the fullest. My first favorite is the Purlisse Perfect Glow BB Cream. I have been talking about this for over a year. This is so incredible. I love the coverage. It's a little bit more than most of the BB cream products have. It's very glowy. It has SPF in it. It wears so well. It's so beautiful on the skin. It has the perfect amount of coverage without being much coverage at all. It looks really, really great on the face. I love this anytime I am camping or anytime I'm just packing my bag to go real fast. I love taking this one. It is the perfect one. If you haven't tried it, I would highly suggest it. I have this in light and medium. I do wear medium during the summer and the light during the winter. My next one, this is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. This is an incredibly beautiful, beautiful foundation. This one I would highly suggest if you are maturing or you might have fine lines. This does not settle in the fine lines. It definitely just glides over your face. It looks so beautiful. It makes your skin look so plump. This is a really great light to medium coverage foundation. I absolutely love it. I love the smell of it. This is great, and I have this in Natural Buff 40, and it works perfectly when I'm really tan. The next one I have is a Colourpop. This is a Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I love this. This has a great amount of coverage. It has medium to buildable coverage. It looks really great on the skin, and it's not heavy or cakey, even though it does have quite a good amount of coverage. I really love how this looks on the face, and I love that it is drugstore price. It's a great foundation. Next is the Loreal Infallible Fresh Wear. This has been my favorite foundation for probably 3 or 4 years. Since it came out, I've absolutely been loving this foundation. It's a great full coverage satin finish foundation. It looks really great on my skin. Even though I do have a bit more drier skin, this looks so good for as full coverage it is. It looks just really great on the skin. This is something I wear for events if I'm going to wear my makeup all day long and I want to have really good coverage. This is the one I go to. And finally, I have my Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation. This is a lot like the L'Oreal Infallible. This has a bit more coverage, and this just locks onto your skin. It will not go anywhere. It will not budge. It will not sweat off. This is a really great summer foundation as well for events. So I would say if you're looking for something for a summer event, go with the Dose of Colors, or you can go with the L'Oreal Infallible if you're not wanting to spend as much money. Both those foundations are just really beautiful choices for full coverage, long wear, great foundations. Next, we are going to move on to concealer. I love concealer. I love trying out different ones and some that I have found recently. The very first one I want to talk about is the Makeup Revolution. This is the Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer. This is a really great concealer if you are not wearing much makeup. Today I don't have much on my base. I have no foundation at all. I have a little bit of this. So what I do is I apply it, I let it sit for a little while, blend it out with my finger. Such a beautiful, luminous, very sheer concealer. So if you're needing more coverage, this is not it. This is definitely very sheer in coverage. But I love that when I'm not wearing much makeup, it looks very luminous, wide awake, very fresh, beautiful. Love this one. The only issue is that it does not come with very much product, and I do go through this pretty fast. It's $10, so it's not extremely expensive. But I did want to kind of warn you, there's not a lot of product in here, but it is a very gorgeous, sheer, but just luminous concealer. I love this one. Next is my Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer. This has been my all-time favorite for a very long time, just as long as the L'Oreal Fresh Wear. This is such a great medium coverage concealer. It does have a little bit of luminosity. It's very healthy. It is not drying. It looks so great under my eyes. I really enjoy this concealer a lot. I've gone through multiple. I think this is my third that I've purchased. They're just a really great concealer. If you've never tried his formula, I would highly suggest it because it just works well on my skin and it doesn't crease into my fine lines. Next is the Dose of Colors Concealer along with the foundation. This is just a great full coverage, really great concealer for someone with dry skin that wants a bit more coverage. This blends into the skin very well. It sits perfectly under my eyes. It doesn't look heavy, cakey. Definitely if you use too much, you can get built up to a more heavy finish, but this is a really great concealer if you're needing full coverage under the eyes. It looks great. Two concealers that are a lot alike. This is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape. I have been loving this. This has really great coverage. It has a little bit more of a hydrating finish. It's fantastic under the eyes as long as you don't use too much. This one you definitely can go overboard even quicker than most, so you want to use just the smallest amount, but it looks really great. But a counterpart from the drugstore that I find is a lot alike. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is a really great comparable product. If you don't want high-end, I would go with the e.l.f. This is the same, really great coverage, has a really great hydrating finish on the under eyes. It blends out the same. This has a tiny bit less coverage than this one, but if you let a concealer sit under your eyes for a solid 30 to 60 seconds, let it kind of dry down just a little bit, and then you blend it out. It works so great. The coverage is really incredible, and it just looks fantastic under the eyes. And then a recent discovery, my holy grail, my favorite concealer of all times, I have already bought two and it is extremely expensive, is the Pat McGrath Sublime Concealer. This concealer is completely flawless. Every time I wear it, I love my under eyes. It is the best concealer on me that I've ever seen. I applied just a small amount. It has really great coverage. It has great staying power. It blends out beautifully. This is the most flattering, beautiful concealer I've ever tried in my life. I did buy it in L7. It was a little dark. I bought it in L4. If I need to, I would buy it in other colors. This is absolutely incredible. It's very expensive, but totally worth it if you are looking for a wedding, special occasion type concealer. Spoil yourself for this one. Buy it. It is an incredible concealer. You will not regret it. Next, let's move on to powders. I have never really been a powder person because I do have drier skin. During the summer, I can definitely play with more powders. It's kind of something I've just never really gotten into. But as of recent, I've really gotten into powders. I've enjoyed testing out new ones, so I found some really incredible ones. My longest favorite powder is my Jeffree Star Magic Powder along with concealer. This is just incredible. Now I'm just waiting for him to come out with a foundation because I know I'm going to love it. But this is a really great powder. Works really great for setting the under eyes without looking cakey or heavy. It doesn't darken my concealer. It keeps it nice and bright. This is a really great one. I have this in Fair. Next, a recent discovery. This is the Hard Candy. This is the Chilling Wonder Powder. This is really incredible. It has a really cool water-like feel under the eyes. It mattifies and sets down my concealer, but it makes it feel hydrated and cooling. I absolutely love this powder. This is a really great one from the drugstore. The only issue, it is very messy. I absolutely hate opening it because once you open it, you can see there is powder going everywhere. There is a sifter, but there's huge holes in it, so as you can see, all this powder is flying everywhere. It makes a mess every single time. You tip it over and it falls out. Hate the packaging, but love the powder. It's a really great powder from the drugstore. One of my favorite setting powders from the drugstore, this is the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder. I love this. If you love that glowy look and you want to set down your foundation but you don't want to lose it, you don't want to mattify your face, this is perfect. It's such a smoothing powder. When I am doing my makeup, sometimes I'll just apply this to my nose instead of highlighter. It just smooths out my makeup and adds a little bit of glow, sets it all down, but does not take away from the glow, and I love that, and adds just beautiful glisten to your face. This is a really incredible one if you want really glowy makeup. Next, a powder that I have been testing out and absolutely loving. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder in CupCake. So it's a light pink. I absolutely love the color of this powder because it is light pink, so it does brighten my under eyes. It works really well with my skin tone. This powder is really great. It's not super heavy as long as you use a light hand. You could definitely go overboard with this powder, but as long as you use a light hand and just apply a small amount, it is so smoothing. It makes your under eyes look so great. They're not crepey, they're not dry. It's just an incredible powder. I really enjoy this one a lot. I'm glad that I purchased it. I did get it on sale, but honestly, I would probably spend full price for this powder because it does just look flawless. And lastly, the JK Aquasurrance Powder Foundation. If you have not tried this powder, you are missing out. This is the best powder foundation, and it's one of the oldest ones. I have had this for quite some time. This one is actually already, oh no, this one's not panned. I do have one that's already panned. This is lighter. I have this in porcelain. This is an incredible powder foundation. I don't really use it for foundation. I use it mostly to set areas, or if I'm going to chisel out my contour, I'll use this because I don't normally put a ton of foundation here. So sometimes putting a little powder like this that has some great coverage kind of covers up the little bit of redness I have down here. I really like this if I'm going to apply a little bit more on top of my cheeks because I have some redness there. It has incredible coverage. It looks really great on the skin. And because it is that kind of Aquasurrance, aqua infused powder, it is really hydrating. It's not too heavy or cakey, and it doesn't dry out my skin. It's a great powder. I highly suggest this. You can get it online at Ulta. There is my roundup of my top 5 foundations, top 5 concealers, and top 5 powders. I hope you enjoyed this video. I try to make it fast because I know I've gone over these products in previous videos. I wanted to give you a quick shot fire video of all my top favorites as of right now. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.